You know what the problem is? Like, so many people don't know that they don't smoke weed,
Yeah.
and they think weed just makes you stupid, which is what I thought.
Me too.
And they don't understand that it does some weird thing to your brain that pops thoughts in there that probably wouldn't have gotten there on their own.
No.
And I think that's real. And people say, "Oh no, it's just your inhibitions," and "Oh no, it's like that's the alcohol excuse too. Your inhibitions go away, and you think more freely." And maybe with alcohol, with weed, there's something else going on. There's something else going on.
Exopheromones, baby. That you're talking to the vegetable kingdom.
Yeah.
It's like communicating with you.
Yes, that's what it is, right? It's
Yeah.
like a life form, because alcohol is like this chemical that has a reaction. We make it. You know,
Yeah.
it's a whole distilling process and making like whiskey.
Yeah.
But weed is just coming right out of the mother.
Yeah.
Right out of the mother. And when you take that into your body, especially when you eat it,
Ooh.
it's like, woo.
That's my
Whoa.
favorite way right there. I like eating it more than I
Whoa.
like smoking it, but I take small amounts of it.
Eating it is a totally different fucking thing. And you got to think, like, how much of human creativity is that thing responsible for?
Oh my God.
How many people thought up a way to get away from the invading tribes because they were eating hash and coming up with strategies to defend their village?
Right. Right. Yeah. And
Coming up with inventions.
and also kicking around the idea of like how much human creativity didn't happen because of the prohibition. Like how many cool things don't exist because
Right.
that was removed as an avenue to the whatever.
And still is. That's what the most maddening thing is. Despite all the evidence and despite all the other things that are legal that are terrible for you, that we don't fight about at all, including prescription drugs, legal that are terrible for you, and the things that are not terrible for you at all, and people report profound experiences that have completely changed the way they view life.
Yeah.
Those are illegal.
Yeah.
And still, it's like, who's saying they're illegal? Like, who are you? Like, who is responsible for gatekeeping some of the most powerful things that human beings have ever experienced that come and grow naturally out of the ground like mushrooms? Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Like, who are these people that are our age? Because we're fully grown up now,
Yeah.
you and I. We're like parents and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who the fuck are these people that don't even have experiences in these things, gatekeeping this thing? It's like someone who can't do magic that's gatekeeping the crystal ball. Like, no one gets to use this.
Well, so I think what it is, I've talked to people who've worked with those people. I don't want to say any names because I don't want to fuck up
Right.
again. But so, the assumption of any psychonaut regarding like the DEA or any of those agencies is that they are aware of the fact that some of these substances don't really seem to be harmful at all. But the reality of it is these are people who, were exposed to like the DARE program in school. And then they went to college and they were exposed to state propaganda regarding drugs. And so they compartmentalized all drugs into one box. And by the time they get out of college, somehow they dodged the bullet. They didn't take psychedelics. They didn't even get high. They thought it caused brain damage or it's going to drive you crazy. So then they get these jobs. And in the jobs, of course, because the jobs are using outdated data sets to rationalize why the laws exist at all. So they think, MDMA and PCP have the same effect. There's basically the same thing. You're going to need to restrain somebody on ecstasy, maybe. They're going to try to flip a car. So they, so that's what they think.
They would only flip a car if they thought love would fall out of it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Or there was more ecstasy in it. But so it's like, I think the assumption is that, and I'm not trying to do apologetics for, things that are causing horrible, unnecessary craters in people's lives at all. But I know my assumption had always been evil, Mordor.
Yeah.
These are evil people from Mordor, when the reality is they're just misinformed people who have really committed to that misinformation and are making decisions based on that. I think that is the most simple answer. I mean, anyone who's taken psychedelics has also kicked around the other possibility, which is the reason that it's illegal is not because they think it's going to fucking hurt you. The reason it's illegal is because they think it's giving you access to extra dimensional information that is off limits to general population, and they don't want you to know that stuff. It doesn't help if you're trying to.
But do you think that's really going on? Do you think that the people that are in control of these laws have experienced these things and don't want people to have access to it? Or do you think they're just a part of a long-standing system that categorizes those things as being illegal and people that are in possession of that as being criminals, and they're allowed to go after them?